Welcome, Junior Detectives, to the continuing story of Crime City, a monthly stage show in the style of old-time radio, recorded live at the Theatre on King in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. This month's episode, Better Safe Than Sorry, starring Mike Judson as Victor Marshall, Marsala Lukianchuk as Lilian Steele, Kenn Gibb as Bramble, Melanie Dubois as the landlady, Dan Smith as the narrator and Chief of Police Gary Marshall, Megan Murphy as a safecracker, and Dylan Billings as everyone's favorite character, Connor Cantwell. With live sound effects by Melissa Post and original music by Adam Martinetti, Crime City is written and produced by Andrew Root. We apologize for a few instances of distortion during the recording. Do not adjust your radio.
Greetings, Junior Detectives. Shine your badge, put on your trench coat, and grab your magnifying glass. It's time to set your radio style to intrigue for a very special episode of Crime City. An episode which will be the very final appearance of one of our most beloved characters. That's right, Junior Detectives. On tonight's program, our characters have been with us since the very beginning will die. No! Brought to you by the Parental Council for Clear Communication with Teens, White Picket Fences, and Nail Polish. Crime City, home to the fiends, scoundrels, and ne'er-do-wells of the world. A cesspool of illegality. Honest citizens fear to walk the streets after dark. But one man stands against crime in Crime City, honor-bound to serve justice and protect the innocent. Our hero, Victor Marshall, private detective.
Victor Marshall, at your service.
Exiled from a corrupt police force, Victor Marshall, with the help of his boy sidekick,
Bramble, adventure scout, first class.
You're not my sidekick.
Saving the world.
Don't.
With scouting.
Damn it.
his trusted colleague, Lilian Steele.
Hello.
And everyone's favorite, Connor Cantwell.
Hey gang, it's me, Connor Cantwell.
Man, I love that guy. I hope he sticks around forever and never. Our beloved heroes aim to clean up crime in Crime City, but what nefarious foes will our heroes face in their quest to uphold the law? Find out in tonight's breathtaking installment, Better Safe Than Sorry. When we last left our heroes, Lilian was recounting tales from her time in the war, and how she previously crossed paths with a nefarious crime minister, the overlord of outrage in Crime City, who may very well have been a top-ranking Nazi official. Could it be that the Third Reich has come to America? Not if the intrepid team of Marshall, Steele, Bramble, and my personal favorite, Connor Cantwell, have anything to say about it. We've taken out of the offices of our team of crime fighters.
So, that's my story, boys. What do we do now?
I can't believe it. Who knew the crime minister had his fingers in all sorts of different pies? But could it really be that he's one of the great villains of history?
All of the evidence seems to suggest it.
Wow. The vandalizing of Pablo Riscalo, the jewelry thievery of Von de Shines, the maniacal mind control mischief of the zookeeper, all masterminded by a former Nazi commander? And all of these cases have ties to your past, Mr. Marshall. It boggles the mind. Connor, can you believe it?
Of course I can, Brad. After all, I was there.
Oh! That's right. You had laryngitis when we confronted Pablo. And you were enrolled at a mime class when we took out Von de Shines. And when we went up against the zookeeper, you were practicing your strong, silent routine.
That's right, young Bradley Bramble. Those are the reasons why I wasn't saying anything. It explains everything perfectly. But you can bet I've been here since the beginning, all right. Wowie zowie!
Oh, Connor, you are a delight. Always have been. I certainly hope nothing ever happens to you.
Oh, Lilian, you don't need to worry about me. Your old friend, Connor Cantwell.
Now, who could that be?
Well. Having guests over, Marshall, you know that goes against the terms of your lease.
Hello, Lurleen. So nice of you to drop by.
What are you doing here with a lady and a kid, Marshall? Playing house? This is a business establishment, not a housing complex.
Of course not, Lurleen. These are my colleagues. Lilian Steele.
Hello.
And Brad Bramble.
Adventure Scout, first class. Pleased to meet you, ma'am.
And of course you know Connor.
Hello again, Mrs. Hotelier.
Of course I know Connor's always been here. Say, Connor, what's that you're working on?
Oh, just fixing this burnt-out electrical socket next to this old dripping faucet, that's all.
Well, be careful. This wiring predates color coding, so it can be tricky to know which wire's alive.
Oh, wowie zowie! That'd really be something if I got a shock, huh? But don't worry, everybody. I'll be careful.
Marshal, your colleagues with the Scout now seems fishy.
The only thing fishy around here is that the plumber seems to be busy every time that I ask you to get that busted toilet fixed.
It'll get fixed when it gets fixed, not before. It's tough racket being landlady to this entire building, Marshal. We can't all sit around all day with our feet up on our desk playing detective, especially not when rent is due.
I'll get your money, Lilian. 2
months you owe. Get off your duff and solve some cases. You want to make Crime City a better place to live? Maybe start by raising my personal standard of living.
I said I'd get you your money.
And I'd better not catch you leaving the lights on all night again. And quit leaving the window open a crack when you leave for the day. Who knows who might be sneaking in, spending the night.
You're not making accusations without proof again, are you, Lilian?
Me? No, not to a fine, upstanding citizen such as yourself. But I am saying that under no account should anyone be living out of the offices they also work in it. This building is zoned for businesses only.
All right, thank you, Lilian. I'll get you your money by the end of the week.
See that you do. Good day, Miss Steele, Brad, and Connor. Did you ever hear back about the doctor about that biopsy?
Oh, sure did. Came back with a clean bill of health. The doctor said I'll be around for another 50 years at least. Wowie zowie, I am not going anywhere.
Does my heart good to hear, Connor. God bless you.
What was all that about leaving the lights on at night? I've got my Junior Energy Saver badge, so I always remember to switch them off before I leave for the day.
And leaving the window ajar? It's chilly enough in here without leaving the window open. Oh my God, Victor. You're living here.
What? I am not.
You absolutely are. You're living in your office.
That's crazy talk.
It all makes sense. You're always here before either of us in the morning, but you always look disheveled, as though you've just rolled out of bed. You said your apartment was downtown, but when we leave at the end of the workday, you go uptown. You must be doubling back and sneaking in through the open window. Victor, you are 100% living out of your office.
You know, there are times I wish all my friends weren't detectives. You can't plan a surprise party to save my life.
Why didn't you say anything? You could come stay with me and my mom on the pull-out couch.
Gee whiz, kid. You make it sound so appealing.
Yo, I've got a spare room.
I don't need this from you right now, Connor. Why don't you go back and go fix that burnt-out electrical socket?
Okay, Vic. But you've really got to get some better tools. I'm having to make do with this rusty old butter knife.
If you won't accept our hospitality, Victor, you'll have to accept our help. We'll get you that rent money, and you can pay off this Lilian hotelier character.
If I'm keeping track properly, you're the only one that hasn't offered up any hospitality yet, Lilian.
Well, excuse me for having a very active social life that I don't want interrupted by some hulking goon making camp in the parlor.
With friends like these.
Hush. Now, how much money do you owe?
Enough. Let's leave it at that.
I've got 3 months of my allowance saved up. You could have that if it would help.
That's sweet, kid. But it's a little more substantial than that.
Would $1,000 cover it?
You can't tell me you have $1,000 in disposable funds just lying around.
Not exactly, but I do believe the offices of Marshall, Steele, and Bramble are owed $1,000 by a certain chief of police.
Say, that's right. The reward for capturing Pablo Riscalo was $1,000.
What are you talking about? We never arrested that dubiously accented weirdo.
That's true. But, if I remember correctly, the words the chief used were, quote, find out who the vandal is, unquote, and we did that. There was nothing in the terms and conditions about actually making the arrest.
I don't know. That's a thin premise.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Well, it would certainly cover what I owe that louse Lilian hotelier.
And what you owe me.
Connor, I don't owe you any money.
Nah, you can't blame a guy for trying.
Oh, Potter.
Connor, you're the salt of the earth.
Now, Victor, I know you might be a bit hesitant to meet with your father.
Yeah, especially now, given that he might be in league with an ousted Nazi commander.
So why don't Brad and I take the lead on this one? The chief has always underestimated me. Now we'll really give him something to think about.
Yeah, I'm real curious to meet your dad, Mr. Marshall. Ever since I got my junior genealogy merit badge, I've been interested in passive and dominant traits. I'll bet you got that big hogger of a nose from his side of the family.
I don't have a big nose.
Well, it sure ain't small.
All right, that's enough. That sounds like a plan, Lil. We'll meet back this afternoon.
So long, you two. If you pass by a hardware store, pick me up a screwdriver so I don't accidentally electrocute myself.
Connor, I really, really like you.
I'll be around forever.
Will Lilian and Brad find financial fortune from the father of our favorite Flatfoot? Will this windfall be enough to waylay a withholding of whereabouts? And which of our favorite characters we've come to know and love since the very beginning of our story, characters like sweet Connor Cantwell, will meet their grisly end?
Not me. Clean bill of health. Excellent prospects and a long, eventful life ahead of me. Wowie zowie!
Wowie zowie. It gets me every time. Stay tuned for the answers to these questions and so much more after these messages from our sponsors.
A word to the parents in our listening audience. Do you know what it means when your teenager says they're feeling hep? No? Have you ever been told to put an egg in your shoe and beat it? Well, what about the ubiquitous cool, Daddy-O? If you're flummoxed by these teenage phrases, you're not alone. These days, teenagers are making a more and more perverted use of the English language. The Parental Council for Clear Communication with Teens has issued a new pamphlet which will help you, the parents, decipher this cryptic new teen speak. This pamphlet was made by parents for parents, so you know it can be trusted. For example, an oddball is someone who has an unusual personality. That's very straightforward. The phrase, like, wow, of course means I have a lot of enthusiasm for this. But let me tell you this. If your teen tells you that they're feeling nifty, do your duty as a parent and an American and call the police immediately. Your teen has been experimenting with alcohol or perhaps even marijuana and are feeling a sense of un-American euphoria that must be stamped out using a series of reconditioning campaigns. The Parental Council for Clear Communication with Teens. Pick up our newest pamphlet on teenage slang, and you too will be a square in no time.
Oh, Harold, did you see what the neighbors had installed?
I did. The Joneses had one of those new white picket fences.
Now we're the only family on the block that doesn't have one.
Don't get left behind. Have white picket fence installed around your home. It's common knowledge that communists hate our way of life. But what they hate more are white picket fences. White stripes on our flags, white picket fences around our home.
Oh, Harold, I just love our new white picket fence.
I'm glad we got the deluxe model with a flagpole for our American flag.
And I'm glad everyone can see how American we are.
White picket fences. You better get one.
Welcome back, junior detectives. We would join our heroes, Lilian Steele and Brad Bramble, as they wait outside the office of the Crime City Chief of Police. Keen listeners will recall that this very same Chief of Police is the one who kicked both Lilian and Victor out of the academy, lo, these many years ago. Not to mention, Chief Marshall is our hero, Victor Marshall's father. And also it's possible, very possible, that Chief Marshall's under the thumb of the Crime Minister, a former Nazi commander. And did I mention that Chief Marshall's the one who hired Lilian to investigate the vandalism case that started this whole wacky chain of events in the first place?
Look, I'm sure we can work all this exposition naturally into conversation.
Quit trying to put me out of a job, Steele. I've got 3 little narrators at home that I'm trying to put through voice acting school.
Sorry.
And now, without further interruption, we take you to the Crime City PDHQ and the offices of Chief Gary Marshall.
Now, listen, Brad darling. We can't expect Chief Marshal to give what I have to say too much credence, but try to hold your temper.
Well, I'll do my best, Miss Steele. But holy cow, do I ever get hot under the collar when someone talks down to you.
Oh, my little white knight. But losing your temper on my behalf does us little good. Trust me on this. I have an angle that I'm working, and it depends on the chief thinking little of me.
Oh, well, I'll try. It'll take every ounce of my Adventure Scout intercom training. But I'll try.
Mr. Bramble, you and your escort can come in now.
Miss Steele isn't my escort.
My dear, the game is afoot.
Well. Lilian, still going by Steele? You haven't managed to land a husband? Or perhaps you're one of those insufferable types that refuses to part with their surname.
No, Chief Marshal, no husband. No real interest in acquiring one either, for a number of reasons.
Spare me. So, son, what can the Chief of Police do for you?
Me? Oh, I didn't make the appointment, Chief Marshal.
Oh, please, call me Gary.
Listen, Gary.
You can call me Chief Marshal, Cadet.
I'm not a cadet anymore, Chief Marshal. You saw to that.
Well, it's an instructor's job, Steele. Separate the wheat from the chaff.
Chaff?
Quiet, Brad. Yes, well, I suppose you did what you estimated was the right thing.
That's absolutely correct, Steele. And you can count yourself lucky that I took pity on you and offered you that vandalism case. Kind and generous man that I am.
Funny you should mention it. That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, Chief Marshal.
Oh, really? I suppose you've come to tell me that you've given up on the case and need something a little easier. What is it, my boy? Something caught in your throat?
No. I'm fine.
You look as though you have something on your mind. A man speaks his mind, Mr. Bramble. It's our privilege and we should exercise it.
Miss Steele?
No need to include her, my boy. The men are talking. She'll wait.
May I use the washroom, Chief Marshal?
Oh, please. Call me Gary.
May I use the washroom, Gary?
Of course. There's a lavatory down the hall and to the right.
Thank you.
What a strange, temperamental little boy. Spending too much with your kind, Cadet.
I'm not.
Yes. You flunked out of the academy, so you're not a legitimate police officer. And now you're here begging for scraps. Isn't that right?
Not exactly.
Well, what are you doing here? Wasting my time?
The vandal is named Pablo Riscalo. His two henchmen use the aliases Pen and Ink. Riscalo's tagged buildings according to a design which, viewed from above, would look like his initials. I filed a report with your desk, Sergeant Officer Bluffstone, days ago.
And where is he, Miss Steele? Where is this vandal? I don't see him before me. In fact, the only thing I see in front of me is my desk and a rather large disappointment in a skirt.
Your fountain pen isn't wearing a skirt.
What?
Frankly, I'd be disappointed too, Chief. That fountain pen looks cheap. Probably leaks often. Yep, I'd say so by the look of your shirt pocket. How often have you bleached the ink stains out of it? More than twice, I'd say. You can always spot the telltale outline of an ink stain.
Stop it!
And look, they misspelled your name on the inscription. Gary with 2 R's, Marshall with 1 L. Seems that whoever gave you that pen doesn't think much of you.
Stop it!
What is that, silver? But silver is traditionally given on the 25th anniversary, and you haven't been the chief of police for 25 years. So the person who gave you that so-called silver pen either thinks that you wouldn't know that commonplace fact, or that it's not genuinely silver.
Put that down!
Ah, yes. Look at the yellowing around the tip. Not silver at all. Looks rather more to me like you're stuck with stainless steel.
I don't know where you get the nerve.
But I think that the one thing we can agree on is that, disappointing though it may be to have been given a cheap fountain pen that betrays a low opinion of you, Chief Marshal, is that this pen is definitely not wearing a skirt.
Enough!
I want my $1,000. The $1,000 you promised me for identifying the vandal.
You didn't make an arrest.
I didn't have to. The terms of our agreement was that I was to identify the vandal, and I did. Pablo Riscalo, where's my grant?
You want your money? Fine, here. I'll write you a check right now. Pay to the order of Lilian Steel for services rendered. Nah, lousy cheap pen, $1,000.
Thank you.
And this drippy check will stay right here in my personal safe until you make an arrest and put a stop to this wave of watercolor.
Actually, he used spray paint. And a deal's a deal, Gary. I would think that the chief of police would know that. A man is only as good as his word. So, Gary, are you $1,000 man or a dime a dozen liar?
I am unmoved by your passions, ex-cadet Steele. Bring me the vandal, or you'll never see your payday. Now, get out of my office!
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Steele. I thought it would be best if I excused myself and waited out here in the hall.
You did just fine, Brad, darling. The plan worked perfectly. Well, almost perfectly.
Did we get the money?
Yes, and no. I'd better make a phone call. Victor, hello? The meeting went fine. Look, I'll tell you the whole story later on, but for now, do you know any safe crackers?
Safe crackers? I'll tell you what's crackers, junior detectives. What happens next after these messages from our sponsors? Stay tuned and hear for yourself.
Say, Midge.
Yes, Pearl?
I don't know how to say this, but your hands look awfully drab lately.
I know, and I feel just drab about it.
No need to feel drab, Midge. Not when there's nail polish.
Nail polish? What on God's green earth is that?
It's a special gel that you apply to your fingernails to give them some pop and pizzazz.
Oh, I don't know if my husband would like that.
Get with the times, Midge. Women's lib is here to stay.
Golly!
You said it with your mouth. Now say it with your fingernails.
Nail polish?
Nail polish. Now available in red.
Welcome back, junior detectives. We are join our heroes at the offices/living quarters of Victor Marshall as they wait for a clandestine rendezvous with a safecracker.
Yeah, you want to lay off with the living quarters jive?
Sorry, Victor. I'm sworn to uphold the narrator's code. To report with omniscient detail the whereabouts and whenabouts of my subjects. No detail left unreported.
I just don't want my landlady finding out I'm living here.
Oh, don't worry about that. She only listens to Dr. Lady Pilot. No one listens to this dumb show.
So just what did you mean on the phone that you maybe knew a safecracker?
Well, I've never met her personally. She was something of a referral.
A referral? From whom?
My informant, Whiskey Snuffles.
The lunatic who lives in a pile of garbage?
He's not a lunatic exactly. He's a paranoid savant.
Who lives in a pile of garbage?
Yeah, regardless, he gives good intel, and he has good connections.
Oh, really? And what was his intel this time around?
Yeah. All right, well, he wrote it down. All right, let's see. Fight the dog for a sausage, and you get bit. Fight the car for a mouse, and you get scratched. Fight the whale for krill, and you get wet.
But you also get the krill.
Don't sue for safety when you go up against the big dogs or the fast cats. Sue for safety when you meet a whale. You'll get salt in your suit, but you'll also get a salted cracker.
Oh, well. In that case...
What's that written on?
I'm not sure. He said mouse paper? I didn't press the issue.
So what does it mean?
The way I see it, he's sending us the best of the best. No small job Sally. This safecracker only goes up against the whales.
But he didn't say when or where to meet this safecracker, or even who they are. I don't know about this, you guys. Aren't safecrackers criminals? And if we're consorting with criminals, well, what does that make us?
Look, these are special circumstances, kid. Just use your junior pragmatist training or whatever.
What on earth are you talking about?
We're looking at a much bigger target than the run-of-the-mill thief here, Bradley. We could stop a huge criminal syndicate, maybe the biggest one in the history of Crime City.
Oh, this sounds like a gateway crime.
Look at it this way, kid. That check already belongs to us. It's got Lilian's name on it and everything. We're not stealing anything that doesn't belong to us.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. But all moral misgivings aside, there are a ton of practical concerns with this plan. How are we supposed to arrange a meeting with someone if we don't know who they are? Or what their name is? Or what they look like? Or even if they're any good?
If you're lucky, they'll come to you.
Guys, you just appeared out of that shadow.
A good safecracker knows how to make herself invisible, Scout. Gotta know when to strike and when to lay low. A good safecracker's a good judge of character, and judging from your conversation just now, you must be the do-gooder characters Whiskey told me about. The name is Safe. Sue Safe.
Victor, close your mouth.
My mouth wasn't open.
Victor, you're staring.
You're the one who's staring. I'm not staring.
Victor, you are definitely staring. And I'm sure a woman in a catsuit as that doesn't need some slack-jawed ape drooling all over her. What is that, Lycra? Boy, it really hugs the curves. Hi, I'm Lilian Steele. Ace Private Eye.
Barking up the wrong tree, lady.
Right, sorry. Professionalism, sorry.
Let's just address the elephant in the room and get it out of the way. Yes, I am wearing an improbably tight catsuit. But it is merely a tool of the trade, necessary for someone in my line of work. So if we could all just move past it and get down to the brass tacks. You must be the names on the door. Victor Marshall, Lilian Steele, and little Bradley Bramble.
There's no zipper. How do you get into that thing?
That's none of your business.
But where would you even carry anything that you've stolen?
I don't know. Maybe it's none of your business, Dick.
It's Vic.
No, it's Dick. Trust me, Dick. It's Dick.
I'm sort of a private dick. Is that what you mean?
Sure. Let's go with that.
I'm just gonna sit down for a moment.
Oh, good idea, Victor. Why don't we all sit down and get to know one another? Miss Safe, a seat? My word, that thing is skin tight. Can you even sit down in that?
Of course I can. That was the suit.
Yeah, of course. Makes sense.
Hey, Miss Safe?
Yeah, kid?
Is your name really Sue Safe?
Of course not. It's a code name, like you all use. A law and order type who goes by Marshall, a strong-willed lady named Steele, and a scout who spends all his time in the wilderness named Bramble. People aren't really named after the things they are. That's ridiculous. It's sloppy and dumb, and those are two things that I am not. I am a stone-cold pro, and I insist on the same from the people I work with.
Those are our real names.
You're using your real names? Whiskey told me that you're planning to break into the chief of police office, and you've got your birth certificate names plastered on the door. Look, it's been nice meeting you all, but I think I better get going. It's the suit.
Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
The suit. What else would it be but the suit?
Makes sense,
Naturally. Oh, but please don't go, Miss Safe, or whatever your name really is. We need your help. Mr. Marshall is living out of his office.
Oh, come on, kid.
I'm not a charity kid.
Well, Whiskey Snuffle says you only go after whales. Well, what bigger whale is there than breaking into the personal safe of the Chief of Police, which is located in the Chief's private office in the heart of the police station?
You have to admit, that's a real challenge.
Piffle! I've pilfered from penthouses with state-of-the-art laser beam tripwires, decrypted the most complex security codes created by man, avoided detection by guard dogs, rough. Motion sensor cameras, and once a loudmouth parrot owned by the Pope, and not the Pope you're thinking of. And I did it using only my cunning.
And an exceptionally snug suit. My word, I can't see a single seam. You must just pour yourself into that. What's your exercise plan? Running? Swimming? Is that a lot of cardio? Or more of like a diet thing? We should work out sometime.
Focus, lady! My story's coming out of my face, which is up here. Point is, this isn't much of a whale, kid.
Oh, no. You're right, it isn't. It's a tuna at best. And we can't expect a world-class safecracker like you to stoop to this kind of level.
No hard feelings, kid.
But what if I told you there were Nazis involved?
What's that now?
Real dyed-in-the-wool Nazis. Up to something big. Nice work, kid. You're really getting a hold of this whole pragmatism thing.
I actually do have my junior pragmatist badge. This is no big deal. You should see me practice moral relativism.
Wait.
Okay, you got it, kid. It's a tough badge.
Wait, are you saying they're Nazis here in America? Do you know how crazy that sounds?
No, it's true. I've been chasing one for years, and now he's got the chief of police under his thumb. We need what's in that safe to fight the good fight.
I thought you were paying back rent on an overdue paycheck.
It's a little bit more than that. When the chief put the check in the safe, I saw a file folder marked with a particular insignia. If I'm not mistaken, it matches one I saw stamped in the front of a code book I stole from Field Marshal Fritz Frauenfiend. It looks like an E on top of a U.
Come again?
She was a spy.
You were a spy?
And now I need your help. We need your help. America needs your help.
All right, fine. The fustigation of a bunch of rogue fascists makes this job a little more interesting, and I suppose it wouldn't hurt to brush up on the basics of a simple tumbler and pin floor safe.
You sure you can crack it? There might be some Nazi mischief going on inside this lock.
I've never left one uncracked, Dick. Trust me. Even with the most sophisticated locks the Third Reich can cook up, there's always a plan B.
What's that?
Throw it out the window, of course.
Well, there's an elegant simplicity to it.
Maybe while you're at the police station, you can find those confidential files that the police have been keeping on you two, Mr. Marshall and Miss Steele. You remember, the ones Wednesday Williams mentioned.
Wow, kid. Good call. You got your opportunism badge yet?
It's called a Carpe Diem badge. And I feel a little queasy using it like this.
2 stops means more time, and even the most organized records room in the world is more confusing than any lock. I'll need lookouts so I can concentrate. 1 with me in the building and at least 3 on the street, covering the entrances and exits. That means you're coming along, gang.
I think I'm up for a little daring do.
Oh, me too.
Dick, you're with me in the building.
My name is Vic.
No, it's Dick. You two will cover the north side of the building. Now, who can we get to cover the east side?
Hey, gang! It's your old pal, me, Connor Cantwell, back from one of my many trips to the corner store. Wowee zowie! The traffic out there is nuts today. I almost got run over by a streetcar and 2 taxis. Luckily, I made it back in one piece. Oh, I must have an angel watching over me. But then a dog bit me. Does this look infected to you? Luckily, all my shots and immunizations are up to date, and I've got a robust immune system to boot. I probably don't need a doctor at all.
I've got a good feeling about this guy. He'll do fine.
Wowee zowie!
Yeah, this guy is perfect. Let's put you on the north side of the building. It's the safer side of the 2 lookout positions, and although we've just met, I already don't want anything to happen to you.
Hey!
This sounds like a plan to me. Just so long as we get home in time for dinner with my wife. Today's our anniversary.
And so, that night after dark, a newly formed team of Victor Marshall, Lilian Steele, Brad Bramble, our beloved Connor Cantwell, and their hired safecracker, alias Sue Safe, meet outside the Crime City Police Department headquarters. With amazing dexterity and grace, Sue Safe leaps up the fire escape as Victor tries to keep up. On the street below, Brad, Lilian, and Connor keep watch.
Jeez, you don't mess around. I didn't think you'd be able to move that well, considering the suit and all.
What is it with you and my suit? Do you see me making a big deal about your stupid trench coat? My clothes are none of your business, Dick.
Sorry, I guess I just find it distracting.
Well, get it under control. And by that I mean both your distraction and your dumb coat, which has slowed us down 3 times already, getting caught on railings. My suit, you'll notice, is utilitarian to the job I'm performing and hasn't had to be untangled from anything.
What are they doing up there?
It looks like they're arguing.
What on earth could they be arguing over? This building is swarming with cops, and time's a factor.
Well, he's pointing at his coat a lot. Maybe they're talking about that suit of hers.
Oh, yes. The suit. Hard to believe she has much mobility in a suit that tight, isn't it?
I wouldn't know.
No, of course not, Brad, darling. Just, wow. What an athlete. I've got a lot of respect for her gymnastic abilities.
Oh, she just slapped him.
What?
Yeah, he was pointing to her suit and saying something, and then she slapped him. Oh, I guess she doesn't like it when people drop comments on her outfit, huh, Miss Steele?
I suppose not. Say, what's that? It looks like Victor's throwing something off the fire escape. It's a ball of paper.
I'll grab it.
Oh, careful, Connor. Don't run into traffic.
Wow, that was close. Here, Lilian, it's a note from Victor.
Okay. Records room first. No more talk her suit. Ouch.
Huh. There must be a guard outside the chief's office, so they're changing the order. Connor, you wait here. We'll go keep an eye on the other side of the building.
Sure thing, Brad. I'll just use this payphone here to call my wife and let her know I'll be late to our anniversary dinner.
Wow, you got that window open in no time flat. Whiskey was right. You can pick a lock faster than flicking a light switch. I must say, I'm impressed.
The window was unlocked. Idiot. Now, don't get your trench coat caught on the sill on our way in.
Crying out loud.
Take a position by the door and warn me if someone's coming.
All right, I'm watching. I can see all the way down the hall from here.
Oh, God, I hate file cabinets. The most exceptionally boring safes known to man. At least these appear to be alphabetical.
Information is power. So think of it like you're stealing a very potent source of energy.
Oh, don't patronize me, Marshall. These are pieces of paper effectively worthless at the pawn shop.
I take it you're not exactly the black and white, right and wrong, good and evil type.
Heroism is dead in a post-war world, Marshall. Survival is all the rage these days, don't you know? You do what it takes.
So we should hold off from inviting you to the Marshall and Associates Christmas party?
Not much for parties, Dick. How's about we do this job, you go your way and I'll go mine.
It's hard to believe. Someone would want to go their whole life without taking a stand for something.
Oh, taking a stand for something sounds exhausting. Thanks, but I'll pass. Oh, What have we here?
You found something?
Marshall, Victor, and Steele, Lilian. Is this what that weird sigil your girlfriend was talking about?
I think so. It looks like an E on top of a U. It's not on any of the other files. Oh, and incidentally, Lily and I are just partners. Strictly professional. She wouldn't be interested in someone like me anyhow.
So,
if you're ever free, like, for dinner?
what are you doing?
What?
You're on the lookout. Go look out, you dolt. I can rebuff your stupid advances another time. Oh, shoot. Someone's right outside. Quick, melt into the shadows.
What?
Melt into the shadows like this.
Wait, where did you go?
I'm here, in the shadows. You idiot.
Oh, it's okay. They're leaving. How did you disappear like that?
You should get yourself a suit like mine. Makes hiding a breeze. The best you could do is hold still and hope they think you're a charity coat rack. Come on, let's head to the chief's office.
Okay, just let me signal the lookouts on the street.
Look, another piece of paper.
Oh, I'll catch it. There, got it.
What does it say?
Got files, chief's safe next.
They're doing great. And Connor's got a watch on that side of the building.
Now, we can only hope that there isn't some sort of alarm on the chief's office.
What did you do?
I opened the door. These old buildings never have alarms on them. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't distracted me with all that stupid out-to-dinner talk.
Oh, well, we've got to get out of here. Forget the safe.
I never leave a safe uncracked, Marshall. Open that window.
What are you doing?
There's always a plan B.
Honey, I know I'm late for dinner, but I'm helping my detective friends with the case. No, I know it's our anniversary, but we'll have another one next year and the year after that and the year after that. And I've got an extra special surprise for you when I get home. No need to wake up the kids. I'll see them in the morning for breakfast. Oh, honey, no, don't wake them up. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, Daddy's just watching a building for some of his detective friends. Oh, I love you too. Of course I'll tuck you in when I get home, and I'll give the kids a special kiss and your princess doll too, just like every night. No, honey, there's no need to put Rover on the phone. No, it's just... Hi, boy. Yes, Daddy loves you too, Rover. Yeah, I'll take you for a nice walk long first thing in the morning. But for now, I've got to keep a close eye on the building. Oh, there, Rover. No need to howl. I'll see you very soon. All right, I'm hanging up now so I can go keep a lookout on the building and make sure nothing happens. Goodbye from me, your husband, father, and owner, respectively, Connor Cantwell.
Connor! No!
He got hit by that safe. Ew, what a mess.
Well, Lilian, Brad, looks like this is the end for your old friend, faithful friend, not me, Connor Cantwell.
Oh, Connor, darling, no! We'll call an ambulance.
Oh, I'm afraid the falling safe crushed the phone booth as well, Miss Steele.
Tell Victor that Connor Cantwell said, wowie zowie.
What happened?
Dear, sweet Connor was crushed by that falling safe.
That safe? With the door open? Yes! Oh, my record remains intact.
How could you be so insensitive when our dear friend, Connor Cantwell, who's been with us since the very beginning, is lying dead here on the sidewalk? We'll never hear him say wowie zowie again.
Yeah. Look, I'm real sorry about that. But it was an accident on a job you hired me for, and we've got about 2 seconds of time before this sidewalk gets real crowded. Survival's the name of the game now, ladies and gents. Hey, When you cash that check, remember to send 20% my way. Toodaloo. Oh, and Dick, call me about that dinner. Oh.
Where did she go? How did she vanish like that?
And what was that talk about dinner?
Nothing.
Oh, real professional, Victor. I saw her first, you know.
Look, we better get out of here. It tears me apart to leave poor Connor here, but we'd be arrested for sure if we stick around.
Did you get the files, Victor? When you weren't canoodling, that is? Boy, first Vonda shines and now Sue's safe. You sure have a type.
I did, and I wasn't, and I don't. She seems nice.
Nice. Victor, she's a criminal.
Wouldn't have stopped you.
Guys, the files?
Right. The files were marked with a weird insignia I've never seen before. It wasn't on any of the others. It looks like an E sitting on top of a U.
This is the same one from Fritz Frauenfeen's code book. Wait just a second. Turn that file folder on its side.
What's this? That's not a U or an E. It's a CM. The Crime Minister.
The Crime Minister, keeping files on Victor and Lilian in the very heart of the Crime City Police Department. There's no denying it, junior detectives. The Crime Minister has come to town and has a sight set on our heroes. Where this nefarious foe treads, mayhem, corruption, and villainy are sure to follow. How will our intrepid detective survive without the dear, sweet optimism of dear, sweet Connor Cantwell? I certainly don't know how I'll go on. I can only imagine how you, the listeners at home, feel, having known him for so long and having doubtlessly formed a deep, emotional bond with, this character. Gosh, isn't that funny? I've forgotten his name already. What was that he used to say? Whammer-zammer? Oh, well. Never mind, junior detectives, because this isn't the end for our heroes. They'll return in next month's thrilling installment. Stop the presses. I want to get off.
Crime City, the podcast, is produced by Andrew Root and Adam Martinetti. Listen to previous episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, and Soundcloud. To help us find new listeners, rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks to the good people of PTBOcanada.com for their media sponsorship. Special thanks to Ian Osborne, Ryan Kerr, Kate Story, Meg O'Sullivan, Sarah McNeely, Kate Etchier, Brianna Ashby, and Sarah Ty. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Crime City the Series and on Twitter at Crime City Series. Catch episode 6 of Crime City at the Theater on King on Saturday, March 19th at 8 and 9:30 p.m. We'll see you there, junior detectives.